Hello friends, welcome back to another session. So in the previous session we have see a demonstration of how we can create queue and exchange and how we can bind them, and we have also seen how we can publish the message through this dashboard. So we have already published some of the message in my Q1. There is a two message that is already in ready state. In Q2 one message is there that is in ready state. In Q3 there is also a one message that is there in ready state. So we have already published these message, and message is available in the queue. Now in this session what we will do, we will create our consumer application using SpirngBoot web application we will create, and in that application we will create the listener, or you can say that consumer, and that consumer will be consuming from the queue and exchange that we have already created. Okay, so first what we need to do, we need to create a SpirngBoot project using starter spring.io. so just go to this web, and here just you can select your project as a Maven, Java, that is a language, and Spring Boot 3.1.3, the latest version you can select. Group ID you can select as com.techhub. Artifact, that is consumer, so I am just giving here consumer only, simple. I'm not giving any specific name. You can give any other service name. Consumer, that is a just generic name, but just for understanding our purpose we are just giving here name as a consumer. Okay, name, this is fine. Description or else name you can give uppercase C, that's okay. Consumer, CONSUMER, fine. And description like consumer application for RabitMQ server. RabitMQ server. RabitMQ is one only. So com.techhub.consumer. Packaging type you can select either jar or var, it's up to your choice. Okay, I'm selecting var because it's a web application. Even web application you can run as a jar also, both are same, because SpirngBoot application has an embedded Tomcat, so embedded server is there, so using that one only we are going to run. So if it is a selecting var, then it is also fine, or jar, that is also fine. So I am just selecting var so that we can deploy in a container also. Okay, fine. The version you can select as a 20 also, but it is better to select the one lower version because that is a more stable than the latest version, that's why. Okay, and here you need to select the two. One is web because we are selecting as a web. Even if you don't select this web, then also it will come. Why? If you see now, why it is coming by default web, see SpirngBoot starter web, it is coming. Even if you are not selecting here any dependency, still it is coming. Why? Because var we have already selected as a packaging type, so this is inferring from here itself. If type is var, then definitely you need to have a web module. So web module, to include web module, it is adding var. So just here for clear understanding, simply I am adding here. If you don't add, it will automatically add. So if you see here, if you see this pom.xml, then also there is 3 dependencies only. One is springboot starter web, another one is springboot starter tomcat, that is embedded server, and this is a test related dependency. You can delete this later also, it is not required, because our this lab is only to understand RabitMQ consumer, not to understand what is the testing APIs is given inside Spring. Okay. I think that we have already seen. Okay, we have already learned that one. If still it is pending, we will learn later. Okay, fine. So I'm selecting here var. If you don't select also, it will come, see, same property, boot starter web, boot starter tomcat, and boot starter test. Okay, so just select web for just understanding. Another one is AMQP, RabitMQ. See, Spring for RabitMQ, you need to select this one. This is a messaging API. Gives your application a common platform to send and receive message, and your message is safe place to live unit received. Sorry, until received. Fine. So this is fine. I think we need to select these 2 dependency only. The previous version was 3.1.2 at that time. Now the latest version is 3.1. Just I am exporting, sorry, I'm just generating this project. Okay, so it is generated. Now the same you have to import in your IDE. So whatever is there in our download, you just have to extract here, and just you need to import the same. This one you can delete, this zip file you can delete, it's not required. So here simply you need to import this one, that is in your download. Okay, in your download. Fine, just open this one and finish it. First time it will take some time to download the related libraries of your web module and RabitMQ related. If you have already done these steps, it will very fastly will import this one and will do the validation. Okay, so first what I am going to do, I am just opening my pom.xml and I will show you how many dependencies are there. So this is the version, this is the parent, var, this is the name, 17. Yeah, these are the dependencies. So in the dependencies, even this test you can delete. Springboot starter test and AMQP test, it's not required. We are not writing any unit test case for them. Only the web and AMQP is required. Okay, fine. So this is your pom.xml, and you need to delete this test package, because we are not writing any test case here, so you just can delete this one. Okay, next. Now we have imported the same in IDE, then we have to delete the, it is optional. If you want to delete the JUnit related dependency and the package, you can delete, otherwise you can keep, it's your choice. Then the next thing that you need to make a change in your application.properties file. So application.properties file, you need what all the things you have to specify. I'm just copying this one and in simply I will paste that here. I will tell you what all these properties are. Okay, so first one is your service name. What is your service name? Spring application name, consumer. Consumer is your application name. Simply you can give any name of your application. So currently the name is consumer. Okay, application name is consumer, and server port number where you are listening this service. You can give any port. I am giving 6000 simply. Context path, that is better to keep the home path always, because this is useful. You can give here consumer, but this is useful when you are running all the application in single server. Here in microservice model, all applications are deployed in a different server, means in embedded server. All application will be running in embedded server. Spring Boot application is running in embedded server. So it is understood that every application will have its own server. So for each server you can keep a default path. That is better to keep, or else if you don't provide this one, then also it will be same only. You can remove also. Okay, this is RabitMQ property. RabitMQ property means how much properties we need to supply for RabitMQ. What is the host, in which machine that RabitMQ is installed. If you are installing in Google Cloud or AWS or Azure server, then in that case you need to give that server IP address. Currently we have deployed in our local system. The application RabitMQ server we have installed in our local system, so I am giving here localhost. This is the default port. You can update the server port also using some configuration. You can do some R&D on that one. I think we will not see that one here. Our purpose is to learn RabitMQ configuration. It's not a big deal, you can learn that one or else time permitted we will see that also. So this is the default port, 5672 is the default port, so we are giving that port. Default username and password, yeah, you know we can create a username users also in our RabitMQ admin dashboard. So this is the default admin user. I am giving that as it is only. I am not creating any other user and any other username and password I am not giving. So because we have only the default one and I am using the default only. So this is only the application.properties. You can close them. You can close the pom.xml also. Next, what's next? So the next thing we need to configure even this is okay, that is a constant file you are keeping separately. If you want to keep, you can keep, no issue, but okay, we will keep this one. What is there? See, in this constant file the constant names of the queue and exchange are given, and name of routing key also is given here. So here if you see in our dashboard, in our RabitMQ, there is one exchange. What is the name of that exchange? The name of the exchange is my exchange. This is the exchange name. This is the exchange name. So we need to give the exchange name also. So what I am doing here, I am just creating a new package called config, consumers config, and here just refresh this one so that it will properly show the package structure. Next, create here RabitMQ config, simply RabitMQ config I am giving. I am not giving that constant file also. Here what is the name of the or let's give it as a public static final string exchange name. What is the name of that exchange? My exchange is the name of exchange. Okay, my exchange. Fine. What is the name of queue? Because there is one exchange only, and this exchange is binded with my queue, my q2, my q3. We need to give the name of these 3 queue also. So simply I am just giving the name of exchange, sorry, queue, Q name 1. Simply, what is the name of the queue? Exactly, I am copying. So go to the queue, my queue. Simple, my queue. Simple. Another queue. There is 3 queue. You know there are 3 queues: Q1, Q2, and Q3. This is Q3, Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay, fine. These 3 are the queues. Okay. Why I am keeping public and static and final? Because they are not going to change. No one is going to change the exchange name and queue name and routing key name. So that's why I am giving this as a final. Static and public, so that anywhere anyone can access this name wherever is required, instead of declaring a variable 2 times 3 times. That's why. Okay. Next, we need to give the routing key name. So I am just giving here key name. What is the key name that is used to bind this queue? If you go to the exchange and open my exchange, so there are a key name, routing key name, my key. One name is my key. Okay, my key. Key name is 1, key name 2, 1, 2, some problem. Okay, and 3, dot 1, dot 2, dot 3. Okay, key name 1, key name 2, key name 3. So we have all the statics: the exchange name, queue name, and routing key name. You can give routing key name, or routing key, you can give whatever. If you want to give key, doesn't understanding, routing key, you can give this also. Instead of key, you just give routing key. Okay, sorry, routing key name 2, routing key name 3. Next, we need to configure like which exchange and which queue is mapped using which routing key. How we have to do that one? In that case, we need to create the exchange. We need to create the exchange and we need to create the queue. These two being we need to create first, and we need to create a binding also. Okay, we'll do that one now. The rest I'm copy pasting so that we will save the time. Bean exchange. Where is this exchange? Available? RabitMQ client AMQP or RabitMQ AMQP client IMPL, where it is, from which package you have to take it. So just simply I am taking the exchange, everything. Just you can copy this import statement also, so that it will come, will not give any conflict. Fine. Configure missing configuration. Okay, you can add, we'll add that configuration. So there is no constant. So what is this one? This is exchange. Which exchange? Direct exchange. We are creating a direct exchange. We have seen in the first session how many types of exchange is there. 4 types of exchange: fan out exchange, direct exchange, header exchange. Okay, one more is there. We will see that one by one. So first I am creating a direct exchange. Direct exchange, and what should be the name of exchange? Yeah, this is the name of exchange name. So exchange is created. This is exchange, my exchange 1. You can give here my exchange name, you can give my exchange also, my exchange 1, that is not a problem. Exchange is created. Next, this is a queue, my q1, queue name 1. What is the name of the queue name 1, my queue. If you see, then what is the name of this one? My queue. Okay, now my exchange and my queue is binded using my key 1, my key, sorry, not my key 1, just my key. Using my key they have binded. So just give here my key. Another 2 are binded using my key dot 2, my key dot 3. Simple. So this is the routing. Routing means my key. Routing, you have to give here a key. This is the routing key. My q1. Just you give the name by naming convention. You can give, okay, q1, my exchange 1. You can resolve with the parameter name, like naming wire name based on the wiring. You can do the based on the name. So that's why it will automatically pick. Is there any bean running in the container of type direct exchange whose name is my exchange 1? So my exchange 1, we have given the name of the bean. So simply just you can create this comment. You create, I will tell you, you no need to have this comment. Just to more readability we are giving this comment. That's not required now. Okay, why this is giving like bean method. Okay, not an issue, that is fine. Now we have made the routing with this queue. Binding 1, another binding, because there is a 3 binding with this exchange. What is another binding? Another binding, you have to create another queue. There is only one queue currently, my queue, or else you give the name also of queue, like this one. What is the name of the queue? This one, that is the name. My exchange is the name. My exchange is the name of bean. My exchange, my queue, and this my queue we are adding to my exchange, my queue. Simple. The next one, we need to create my q2. That should also be binded with exchange, my exchange, using using my key 2 simply. So another exchange, another queue I am creating, just copy and paste here, give the here name my q2, copy my q2, and queue name is my q2. So 2 is there. Now here you need to give here q2, my q2. Exchange, that is okay, my exchange is okay, my exchange, my q2. Routing key is my routing key name 2. Routing key name 2 is my key 2. Simply in the same way you can create another queue and you can do another binding. So my q3, and the name of this queue is my q3, and do the binding. Okay, this is your another binding. Okay. And if you verify it, this one, this class we need to mark with @configuration, because this configuration has to create it, because since this is a application is a Spring Boot application, so Spring configuration class we need to mark here, configuration. Okay, that's it. Once this configuration is marked, that is fine, that's it. And you can verify the import statement. The import statement we are importing from org spring framework.amqp. This is a configuration, and bean is that is a Spring Core context annotations only. These two are context annotation only, but the above are AMQP, Spring Framework org.springframework.amqp.core. So from the core annotations, from the core package we are importing all the annotations, all the interfaces or classes, like binding builder, direct exchange builder, queue builder. From the core we are taking, that's it. Now the next is our service is what? Our consumer, where our consumer will be listening. Okay, so go to create a new package named service. So in this service, what we will create? We'll create a class RabitMQ consumer simply, or you can give anything like that. You can give simple consumer name, you can give a consumer also, not a problem. Whatever the name you suitable you can give. And this is service, this is marked with the @service annotation. So just to save our time, I'm simply copy the consumer service. You can give consumer service or consumer, whatever, better you give the convenient name. Instead of consumer, give consumer service, give a consumer service. Okay. Fine. So in consumer service, we know we have a three queue. So from 3 queue we have to consume the message. From 3 queue. So how we will consume this one? If you see our code, this is a service, and we need to use Rabbit listener. In Rabbit listener, just we need to tell the queue name. Simple. Just we need to tell the queue name, and Rabbit listener is available under amqp.rabbit.annotation from this class. Okay, simply just import it. Now the constant, like this constant is nothing but the name of a class from where the queue name is given. So queue name is, what is queue name? Queue name 1 and queue name 2 and queue name 3. That is coming from RabitMQ config class. Okay, that's it. Why this extra, some extra? Okay. So consumer handle message 1 for Q1, or else just print here consumer, simply consumer, for more readable. Simply I am printing the queue name simply, so that we will understand from which queue we are reading the message. Simply, what is the message? That message we are printing here, consumer, this one. Okay, simple, very simple. Just copy paste. Let me copy paste the same thing, just we need to change the name to, I need to just copy paste the name to 3. So here this, even you can create a separate classes also, no problem. Consumer, this I'm all the consumer method I am placing in the same class, consumer service. If you want to place each message in a different classes, you can do that also, because that is not relevant. Like we are just creating here a service class only. This is a service class. Object has to create it for this one. That's it. Wherever the Rabbit listener annotation is marked, it will be considered as the consumer of RabitMQ server. Okay. So just Rabbit listener annotation is required to mark on top of a method. It will automatically create a consumer for that application, for that consumer server, RabitMQ server. So this is our, the code is fine. This one is okay. Constant file configuration. What is this? Okay, SpirngBoot producer consumer application. This is fan out. We will see this later. Okay. So this is only the RabitMQ consumer for the exchange and queue that we created in our last session. So what I will do, I will just simply run this application. I'll just simply run this application and you observe the console. Currently, if you see in the queues, there are 3 messages, 4 messages. Total 4 messages are already there in queues. In my queue, there are 2 messages that is ready to publish, ready to send to consumer. Whenever we will start the application, consumer will be ready, and these 2-3 message will be consumed by the consumer. So for that purpose, we have written here SOP statement, and we have given the queue name, so that we will come to know, yeah, this message is consumed in this queue. So in Q1, Q1, how many messages are there? 2 messages are there in Q1. If you see the message, what are those message? This is the last one that we have published the message. It's these 2 messages. Hello, this is my first message from Tech Hub. Please subscribe my channel. Another one is Namaste, welcome to Tech Hub. We are learning RabitMQ. And if you go to another Q2, there is only 1 message. And what is that message? Simply, hello, how are you? Namaste, how are you? Sorry. And in Q3, there is a 1 message that is already there. What is that one? Please subscribe my YouTube channel. Hello, please subscribe my YouTube channel. That's it. So whenever I run, consumer will be ready, and these messages should be consumed. And how we are consuming those messages? Just we are printing in our console statement. That's it. So let me run this application, and we will observe the console. Yes, so you see now in the console first message is coming from my q1. My q1, what was the message? This was the first message that we have given. Hello, this is my first message from Tech Hub, please subscribe my channel. And the second message in my queue, it is downside, you can see this is the second message, because this is running in a thread, different threads. So in console how it is printing, we can't predicate, that is a thread. But anyway, the message is coming from which queue? From my queue. My queue has a two message. Which one? First is this message, hello, this is my first message from Tech Hub, please subscribe my channel. Another message from my queue is namaste, welcome to Tech Hub, we are learning RabitMQ. And in my q2 there is only one message, that is a namaste, how are you? And in my q3 there is one message that please subscribe my YouTube channel, that's it. And now if you refresh the page of RabitMQ and if you see the queue, there is no ready message, message is gone. You can see here ready 0. In the queue there is no ready message, the message is already published to or already received by the consumer, so message is not there. So whatever you want to do with the message, you can do here, simple. Okay. So now your application is running, consumer is running, it's up and running. I'm clearing this console, I'm just clearing this console. And what I am doing now, I am just going to exchange and I am going to publish the message to this exchange. I'm just going to publish a message. So the message is hello guys, this is Tech Hub, simple. This is Tech Hub, simple. And in which queue you want to publish? There are 3 queues, you can see here there are 3 queues. If you give this key, it will be published to which queue? It will be published to my queue. If you give this routing key, it will be published to my queue, it will be published to my queue. So publish, yeah, message is published. When if you come to queue, the message is there, not there. Why? Because consumer is ready, consumer is ready to listen, or consumer is ready to consume the message. So immediately it went to consumer. If you open the console, the message is there. Okay, so in this way we can create the consumer for our RabitMQ queue or RabitMQ server. Or else you can try other one for other queue also. Go to exchange and publish here hello, okay, NAMAS, simple namaste I am printing, and I am printing to my key 2, my key dot 2. So it should go, if you observe the console, first it was coming from my queue, it should come to my queue 2 now, because we are giving the routing key another one. So it's published, open the console, it is coming. Third one, you can try for third also, routing key 3. What message you want to publish? Suppose Jai Shri Ram. Simple. And publish the message. So message is published. Go and check in the console, it's coming. So like that we can create the consumer, and this consumer currently we are defining in the same class. If you see, the consumer we have defined in the same class, but it is better to place in a separate file, because each has its own functionality. One service will hold one functionality, one common type of functionality. Like suppose if there is a user service, so user card operation, add user, get user, delete user, all that should happen in a same service. For product or customer service, that should happen in a say as a separate service class. With following that pattern, this should be in a separate service, but that is not a big deal. You can do very well. We know how we can create a class and how we should place. Just you need to give the class name is a different and just copy paste the method. Simple. Okay, so like that we can create our consumer application for RabitMQ server. Right, so in the next session we will see how we can create producer for RabitMQ server. So currently which producer we are using? We are producing the message using this this dashboard only, but that data should be produced from some application only. No, this is just for learning, and just we are checking that we can do. Just we are checking flow here, but the flow should be like that. From one application data should be generated and the data should be received by the other application. That is the actual goal of the RabitMQ. So that we will see in our next session, how we can create the RabitMQ producer. So if you like this session, please subscribe our channel, and if you find our content is very helpful for your technical skills, so please do your contribution and support us financially by giving your financial donation. Whatever, if you whatever the amount you are thinking that you can pay, whatever you want, you can do that one via bank transfer or via using this QR code. Thank you and have a nice day. We will see you in the next session.